Lime vibe, come let we lime, come let we vibe. Lime vibe, come let we lime, come let we vibe. Lime vibe, oh, lime vibe.
There we go. So good night, everyone, and welcome once again to another LimeVibe Live podcast. I'm your host, Yori Kemp, along with the beautiful Kimberly Ramcalawine from Trinidad and Tobago. How are you tonight, Kim?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
All is good, all is good. I got a bit of a cold tonight, but a bit of a chest cold, but I'll make it. It's going.
To hear that, I mean, yeah, we've got the Saharan dust and, the dust shaking off. Yeah, it's kind of dry.
Yeah, I know. I think somebody gave this to me, though. Somebody gave this to me. The nasty stuff, they gave it to me. But anyway, I'm going to make it. I've been taking my vitamin C. I've been taking my vitamins. I have a cabinet full of medicine, man. I have vitamin C, I have multivitamin, I have vitamin D3, I have macaroons, a bunch of different stuff, man. So I'm well fortified to beat off this cold.
Zinc, they usually tell you to take zinc along with, zinc helps.
Yeah, zinc, yeah.
Vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. Yep.
Yeah. I don't take zinc though. I should take zinc.
So you take the zinc like when you're coming close to, you're getting a flu, and during the
and it beats it off.
Yeah, it helps. Something about it, I think it works like a catalyst where it wards off the flu. It works with whatever is triggering it. So it helps you build your defense system.
Okay, fair enough. Anything is better than Cersei.
And then echinacea is good. Once you don't have an autoimmune disease, echinacea works.
Okay.
That's a floral thing.
Okay. So how's the night over there in San Fernando?
San Fernando is a buzz right now. All the towns and little streets, they're having fetes, they're having parties, parades, street parades this morning. So after Dimanche Gras last night, everyone would have had Juve this morning, mud mass, and that would have went straight into a bit of a parade of the bands. In Port of Spain, as parade of the Juve bands. It's like a relaxed mass. It's not your costumes or elaborate costumes. Everyone is more laid back. They're chipping and sipping at the same time, chipping to the music, and sipping to rum, sipping some rum, sipping some alcohols or beers, things like that.
What is chipping? Chipping. It's
like how you shuffle yourself down the street. You're walking, shuffling down the street. That's the best way we call it chipping. Chipping to the music, So each band would have their music truck. One band I saw earlier today, they had Super Blue, the soca artist, and he brought out his horn section, his brass section. So you had live horns while he sang, and with his mic and the music system, and you had the bands crossing the stage in the Queen's Park.
Yeah, I got you. So you guys are having fun. You guys are reveling tonight. So I guess everyone's getting prepared for Ash Wednesday now, right? Pray to the Lord. You still there, Kim?
Yes, I am still here.
Oh yeah, your camera went up though. That's good. Yeah.
I'm gonna change camera. You might see me different for a bit.
No problem. Take your time. So yeah, so they chipping away in Trinidad and Tobago now for Carnival. So that's good. Oh Lord, I wish I was there though. I'm going to come to Carnival one day. I said it before. I'm going to do it, man. I'm going to come to Carnival one day, so I can chip down the street and I can whine on something.
It is something different. I mean, I usually cover it from a reporter's perspective. I've done standing on the wayside, but everywhere is traffic. It's jam traffic. You have to walk the entire distance. When I worked it, you walked from the start of the town, which is by the sea, the lighthouse, South Key, all the way up to the TV station, which is closer to Marval, which is closer to the Queen's Park Savannah. So you have to walk. whatever you're doing is walking. There's no driving. Have to flow with the masqueraders and people jumping in front of you and all these things. Sneakers is most handy. You need to ensure that you've got a good pair of sneakers to ensure you're comfortable.
Okay. We have an our launch of our carnival here in the Bahamas this Saturday. Actually, it's called the Essence of Carnival. I just got the flyer today. It's called the Essence of Carnival. It's going to be a show at our Fusion Superplex. Tickets are $50 a piece, and they're going to be displaying everybody in their costumes and whatnot. So we're trying to get. We normally don't do carnival here. You know, we just started this about I'd say 7 years ago. We had our first junk festival. We don't do carnival.
Junkanoo is different, and
Yes, different, yeah.
Junkanoo reminds me of Mardi Gras a little bit with a mix of carnival.
Yeah.
That's
And
how
mind you,
I
when they tried to introduce carnival here, people got pissed red, man. They say carnival is not our culture. We have Junkanoo. Carnival is not our country. That's that's Trinidad and the rest of those other countries' culture. And people were upset. How dare you water down our culture? But here we are. We're having carnival every year.
What is that?
Young people love it. The young people love it. The young people love getting half naked and going down the street and drinking and reveling. They love that, man.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. You're seeing a change. Some are trying to go back to traditional masks. Like today, we would have seen most of the Dame Lorraines. We call them Dame Lorraines. It's the woman with the big butt, the mask, and the hats. Then they look like the women of colonial times with the corsets. And then you had the baby dolls, the women with the babies, and they usually have they tell a story. We had the bats. And that's people dressed like bats. Literally bat costumes. They look like bats. We had the fancy sailors. We had a number of that's what we call a traditional mask here in Trinidad. And it's mostly upkept by the more mature people in our society, middle age, if not. And I think you gravitate towards that traditional mask when it's closer to that age. You're going towards that age. Like myself, I appreciate the traditional mask more than the bikini and the beads. The beads and the feathers and stuff. Yeah, people like that.
Are you saying you're getting more mature, Kim?
Yeah, I'm getting older.
Do you go on carnival? When you were young, you used to go on carnival? No, never. Wow.
No, I personally don't believe in doing that because it's surrendering to the flesh. It's a fleshly thing. It's Trinidad culture, and we grew up watching it. So, and because of being a news reporter, I am in it. So usually I'm on it. We have San Fernando Carnival bands, and we're usually positioned with the judges and, working with the team, just live coverage of the entire parade for the entire day.
Yeah. Sounds like fun, man, Kim. So the other islands have their version of carnival as well, don't they? I think Barbados has Juve and Grenada has Juve as well, right?
Yeah, I think everyone has a bit of it. Barbados has their crop over festival.
Crop over, right?
Right. So most of the islands has crop over festivals. I think that usually happens around August. Closer, yeah. And have their own kind of parade of bands. It's much different from Trinidad, I think. And they have the cadument. I'm not sure how they derive cadument. They call it cadument. Crop over music.
Cadument Day. That's a song. Ines, come, let me dance for crop over. Come, let me tingle. Music too sweet, too sweet. Too sweet for Miss Candu Monday. That's the song, right? That's it, right?
Yeah,
I remember that.
So that is what is Barbados. That's their version of mass. So that's August. Trinidad, it comes at the start of our crop season. So it's usually in the middle of what would have been sugarcane or harvesting the sugarcane harvesting period. Crop season, and it comes right before Lent. It's tradition with how the French and the Catholics would have celebrated it.
Okay. Does this festival keep everybody together in Trinidad? Does it keep everybody happy and builds a camaraderie? It looks like it does.
It does. It says that it crosses all borders of race, class, and race and class. It's crossed because everyone is jumping up on the streets. Everybody's jumping up. Everyone is partying and involved in the revelry and everything like that.
What about crime? Does crime spike around that time or no?
Yeah, I think it is. You have to be careful. Now, the police officers have been out in their numbers on the streets together with the masquerades. You would have seen, I know we were talking about this, all the women whining around, jamming like around police officers standing guard on the streets. And so that's their way of trying to protect you. Once they are there, I think people are not keen to commit some crimes. If you
What about
stray away,
sexual assaults?
yes. I actually heard a story this weekend where a woman was she was robbed and then raped.
Wow.
And then we had the sad story of the Japanese young girl that came to Trinidad. Saki, I think her name was Trinidad, and she was bludgeoned to death. And she came to perform in our steel bands.
Really?
Yeah, that happened, I think, in 27. Asami Nagakia was her name. And it was really a sad case because she was known for coming to Trinidad. I mean, venturing all around the world to come to participate in our big steel pan festival, which is Panorama. And for this to happen to her, it was really heartbreaking.
Yes,
I think it was a homeless person, I'm not sure, that committed the crime.
Oh, so the person was out of their mind, I guess.
Yeah, they probably assumed that. But yeah, crime is there. For women, they urge bands. You keep together. You keep within. You don't ever stray from the band. You stay within the confines of people. If you're moving away, move in a crowd, in a group, a large group.
Yeah. Just a warning for all the people who want to visit over there for carnival, right?
And then you have to be careful with some of the men because carnival has its own pocket of lewd acts. The whining, the gyrating. What they're promoting lately of equality and being gender sensitive in the sense that you respect a woman's boundary. In Trinidad, our culture has not been that so much. And now it's being sensitive. I think they even wrote a song where you ask permission for a wine.
Really?
Yeah. You just don't
I
go
thought you
up.
had to walk up behind somebody.
I guess, but some women it's like, okay, if I don't like it, and I tell you to stop, you need to stop. At least that much, right?
So that kills my vibe because I want to go over there and wine with somebody. I want to be free, I'm kind of reserved, so I want to just do it,
Well, if you go, just make sure and ask the permission, or you just if they're not entertaining it, if they're not, they look at you, or they don't want to, you just move along to the next one. Next bump on one.
There's always someone to whine on, right? I know, right? So, you guys are gonna have a blast until for another week or two, right?
No, it comes to an end tomorrow night.
Okay.
It's just like Mardi Gras. Tomorrow is our version of the Fat Tuesday.
Okay.
So you've got all the parade of the bands in their brand new costumes that they would have been advertising since last year, August. They would have had bands since last year, August. Where they sell the costumes and people they promote the costumes. So people would be in their new costumes with their colored makeup and out there having a good time.
And just for the Christian people out there, for the religious people, Fat Tuesday is really Shrove Tuesday. And that's it's the same thing. Shrove Tuesday is just what they call Pancake Day, the day before Ash Wednesday.
Pancake.
Yeah, Pancake Tuesday.
That's what they call National Pancake Day. Is that why they call it National Pancake Day?
I have no idea. Just as Shrove Tuesday, there's a Pancake Tuesday, a Pancake Day, the day before Ash Wednesday, observed in many Christian countries through participating in confession and absolution. So you're supposed to like confess your sins on Shrove Tuesday before Ash Wednesday. Supposed to give yourself up to the Lord and tell him all your deepest, darkest secrets.
Well, Ash Wednesday, you're going to see the crowds in the cathedrals, and they
Yeah.
usually get their ashes, the crosses.
Yeah. I hope to make it to spell out. I hope to make it. Yeah. You want to make it for Ash Wednesday?
We don't. I mean, I personally don't observe it. I've covered it as a news reporter, and that's about it. The Lenten period, it's not something where we fast. If I'm fasting, it's going to be on a personal note. Okay, I need to really concentrate myself. That calling. Okay, so that's my version of fasting. That's the reason I would fast. We're not limited to a season and tradition. I don't like to stick to the tradition.
I got you. Some people like that.
I do observe Easter weekend. We have what you all call Easter Sunday. It's Resurrection Sunday and a Good Friday. And yes, we believe in those messages behind Good Friday and Resurrection Sunday.
Yeah, Good Friday is the big day. My uncle once told me that no one should work on Good Friday because it's bad luck. It's going to give you bad luck for the rest of the day if you work on Good Friday. Because if it's one day you shouldn't work, yeah, that's what he said. And it's stuck with me all my life. I don't do anything on Good Friday.
Wow. Okay, I've worked several years on Good Friday actually. Last Good Friday I worked, and my uncle sadly passed away on that day. But in the media, we work holidays, we work weekends. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Work New Year's. You go and you fill your shift, you do your newscast, and you head out.
Yeah, because people depend on us, man. They depend on us. They depend on us to give them the news and be there for them. And I'm really taking that serious, man. People want to hear from us, Kim. People want to hear what we have to say. Like what we have to say tonight about what's happening with Grenada. Apparently, people in Grenada are pissed off right now, Kim. They're ticked off that, President Deacon Mitchell, he sent some Haitians back to Trinidad to beg in your country. They came into the country, they were trying to overstay, and he sent them back. And people in Grenada are pissed with it, man, apparently. And I don't know, I mean, this Haitian situation just keeps on developing into more and more things. Why are people wanting to be mean to these Haitians that want to come to their country for a better life?
And what was they returned on sometime last week to Trinidad. His justification is that it was a drain, or it was impacting their economy, the public purse, that, and he said it posed a national security risk.
Yes.
Didn't understand it. It's just a handful. In Trinidad, we have many migrants. I mean, what is 15 nationals going to do? I'm not sure if he wanted to send a strong message. What was his political message behind it? That, hey, migrants are not welcomed here.
Yeah, but it's right off the heels of CARICOM, though. I mean, at CARICOM, they had this kumbaya, we got to help Haiti, we have to do this, we have to do that. And all of a sudden, as soon as you get back home, or right before you left for CARICOM, you send the people back to Trinidad, you send the people out of your country, you deported them. And now the immigration director is saying that we didn't deport them, they just didn't land. And so we just refused them entry. So what do you have to say, man? I mean, my goodness.
I thought it was really, really a sad affair,
Everyone wants to send the Haitians back until it comes to the Haitian, right? And everyone's upset. See, we have to be careful when we do these things, man, because when we send these people back, they are people. They're not just like, oh, the Haitians, they're people. And I guess Kim, you froze. You still there, Kim? Yeah, these are people. You still there, Kim? Oh, yeah. Sorry, you froze for a second. Sorry. Yeah, we have to be mindful. These are people, man. These are people. And yes, they are draining the burden, but they're still people, though. We can't turn like the United States, but they have them at the border, detention facilities, and treating them like animals. That's not how we do. We're supposed to support them. We just came out of CARICOM talking about them, you know. See what I mean, Kim? They were just in CARICOM 2 or 3 days ago, talking about, oh no, Haiti, have they be able to do, oh Haiti, oh Haiti, they have to do something with Haiti. Had the Canadian Prime Minister come here, you know, saying he wants to pledge the Navy and money for Haiti. And all of a sudden, now this is what we do. This is how we do. This is what we do.
I know you were mentioning something that you heard that they were not doing anything, but I mean, on their website, they had made an agreement to ask for international help, which is what Canada is doing.
Yes.
And, you know, they asked for international partnerships in order to return Haiti to some semblance of peace and stability.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure where the international media is getting the idea that they're not doing anything.
Yeah. I don't know, but the CNNs and New York Times always misquote Caribbean news and politics. I think they do it on purpose, to be honest with you. Maybe because no one there really cares about what happens here. So they just say anything in the air. They know Americans will just buy it. Might take. And that's why we're important with LimeVibe, Kim. We're important. We're getting the news out there. You know, we need to talk. We need to talk to Jacqueline Charles from Miami Herald. We need to talk to Jacqueline Charles. I have her on my WhatsApp, you know. I'll invite her to the LimeVibe podcast, see if she wants to come on, see if she wants to talk about the Asian issue. Because she's very, very concerned about it, man. Because, you know, she's Asian descent, right? And she's an award-winning journalist with the Miami Herald, actually. She's won awards. It's Jacqueline Charles. I'm going to reach out to her and see if she wants to do a LimeVibe podcast.
Because I'm hearing that, I mean, we had discussed this extensively. They said that they were going to talk with Jamaica, stakeholders in Jamaica. So
Yeah.
I wait to see the and Prime Minister of Bahamas, Prime Minister Davis.
Yeah.
Dave Davis
Yeah.
said that we're going to see the changes in Haiti in the next 3 weeks. So we're looking for that. This is week 1. We've got 2.
If you believe that I have a bridge in San Fernando, I want to sell you.
What's that?
I say, if you believe that I have a bridge in San Fernando, I want to sell you.
A bridge in San.
Yeah, I have a bridge in San Fernando, I want to sell you. Yeah, man. If you believe that from these diplomats, from these bureaucrats, then I don't know again.
No,
They
I'm
say these
saying
things all the time.
you know, if they say that, we wait and see. We're holding them accountable,
Yeah, that's true.
right? So we need to see, okay, if they're really going to do what they said they're going to do.
Well, today, Prime Minister Davis today said that he's going to have stricter, tougher measures on illegal immigration. So that's what you're going to see in 3 weeks.
That's what you're going to see in the Bahamas. Well,
Yeah,
you're
that's what you're going to see.
arriving on a daily basis in the Bahamas.
Yeah, it's rough. Also, in the Turkish case, we have it bad because they come north. They typically don't travel south; they travel north because they want to get from from Haiti to the Turkish Caicos and the Bahamas, and then on to Miami, Florida, if they could. Now, if not, they want to stay in the Bahamas for a while. But they generally want to go to the United States, and that's a tougher route. So that's why most of them end up staying here.
I think that's most migrants, because I think most of the migrants that come to Trinidad, they don't want to stay in Trinidad. They really want to go to America. And it's probably easier for them to get a visa from here and head to Miami, head to New York. So you see that happening with the Chinese and even the Venezuelans.
Yeah. We'll see. Oh, Kim, man, I'm sorry to bum you out during Halloween, man, because we shouldn't be talking about these sad stories, man. These people being deported. But you know, that's life, I guess. You know. So what else is happening over there with you, Kim?
What else do we have? So right now, Carnival has taken over. Everyone's talking about the road march, as I said. And so the road march is the tune of choice of soca music. And that's all we're talking about. Okay, so who do you think road march this year? We haven't had a road march title since 2020, I think. And yeah, so everyone is rooting for Marshall's tune. Marshall's song, Welcome Home. Caribbean Airlines has adopted it as their theme song.
Welcome Home. That's the name of the song. Welcome Home.
Welcome, yeah. It's Marshall Montano featuring Voice and Agent Sasco, Travis World. Home.
Okay.
It's really cool. So.
Okay. Cool. Because I remember 2 years ago, Savannah Grass was in it, right? Yes. And 2 years ago, 2 years before that was Destro with Party Girl, right?
Savannah Grass, I think, came out in 2019.
2019? Okay.
Yeah,
That was a
2019.
big tune for Carnival.
2020, no, it's 20. I think we had Savannah Grass in 2019 because I remember us going to Jazz Festival and what's his name? Boo Hinkson from St. Lucia came and he did it in a really mellow, nice, and everybody was still singing and tripping because they recognized. So after Carnival, we've got the spillover events, which is when we go into our jazz season or Caribbean jazz season, all the way till when the rainy season starts. So you'll start seeing a lot of Caribbean jazz music, pick up in between.
Okay, good. Okay. And before that, you had Lucy, but Desper, right? Lucy. And Lucy came with everyone in the house was singing Lucy. I get loose.
Yeah.
I love that song.
And then we have, so it's to me between Marshall and Bunchy Garland's Hard Fed. Now everybody likes Hard Fed. It came out early, but this Welcome Home, it's getting a good bit of plays. And the Road March is really judged on how much you get. And when the band is crossing in front of the judging points, what song is playing and they count it. It's kind of like people tend to say, oh, they cheat, but most people want to play it. And as a reporter, as someone covering it or just out there, you're gonna get tired of hearing the song. You're literally going to hear it at least 200 times for the day.
And you be singing by heart, right?
Yeah, and it gets stuck in your head. But at least the rest of the month, it's like an airworm that just never ends.
I know, Kim. I know.
Right now, but I mean, even on the TV stations and on radio, that's all you're hearing. Home by Marshall Montano. When you go in the malls, when you go in the stores, that's all they're jamming on the speakers. So you're hearing it everywhere. You're in the grocery supermarket line, that's all you're hearing.
But Marshall has been campaigning all year, hasn't he, right? Marshall he's been to India recently, didn't he? And he came back to Heroes Welcome after that trip to India. He said he found himself, he found his spirituality. He's what you call a dougler, right?
No, I don't think
he's not a dougler?
No, he's not.
I thought he was half Indian. No. Wow. Okay. So he went to India and he found he had a spiritual awakening, he said. And he came back with a Hero's Welcome and everyone loved him.
But Satguru some time ago is some
guru.
The spiritual awakening.
Yeah. My goodness. Michelle's finding himself.
He got married during the lockdown, I believe. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
When they reopened Red House Weddings, he was the first to get that was in 2020, just before lockdown. He got married at the Red House. He was the first official wedding to take place at the Red House. That's when you just sign. Yeah. So you that's our parliament. I don't know how you'll have it. It's like it's a civil wedding. You just go and you literally sign your papers declaring, hey, I wed thee, and that's it. It's not like it's not you may take some vows, but it's not necessarily according to any religious rites. It's just civil according to the law of the land.
Yeah. We have that here in the Bahamas. You just go to a justice of the peace. You just sign the documents. No big ceremony, But someone you need to have a marriage officer do it for you. You just can't I'm going to the registrar and getting married. No, you can't.
So in Trinidad, we have this situation where you've got to post your banns where you put up that you're going to get married to this person. It goes through the Ministry of Legal Affairs. It goes through the Board of Inland Revenue and all of that. You pay for it, and it gives you. Once you get that notice up, you get your Justice of the Peace, you get your Reverend, Pundit, Imam, whoever it may be, to marry you, and you have a witness. That's it.
Okay, but usually people who do that, they're running from their other family though. So Michelle's running from his other family. You think that's what we're suggesting? Michelle's running from his other family.
I think sometimes you do it because of financial issues. Most people do it. and you do. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. It just means, hey, it's the cheapest way to go. Who's going to
Yeah.
spend $100,000 feeding people, having this big fancy ceremony, and you know,
And you
it's
don't take off the other, you don't take off the other mate. You don't take off the other lover. You got to keep them happy and still sweetheart them on the side. Keep it quiet. I know. And no one comes to break up the wedding.
no, they could always. You can still have, the captive someone coming out there to ruin your moment.
That's true. That's true. That's true. I would like to see one of them in my life, to see someone just walk up to a wedding, the reverence that if today you don't have any issue with this wedding, please stop now forever. I would love to see someone go, I have an issue with this wedding. I'd love to see it in real life, man. Just to see it play out, Just to see how people react to that. Like, what would you
Really?
do if you're sitting in a wedding and that happens to you?
Been to some weddings, and some people, one of my friends, she was getting married, and when they asked her, is anybody opposes this,
Mm.
stand up now, forever hold your peace. I heard one woman get up and talk, but she was have their blessings, and I think she just wanted to play a prank and
Okay. It's just a prank. Okay, good. Yeah. I would be mortified, but now I'd be too busy gawking and looking, trying to see what happens next.
and the thing is, the person was not even invited.
Oh Lord.
She literally crashed the wedding, and she could not show up. She got up with a bunch of papers, and she had to read out her speech. It's like, where did she pull out all that? Who is this? Who told her?
That's right. Oh Jesus. But how is it different? How different is getting married in Indian culture versus African culture?
Wait, in Trinidad we have the Hindu weddings and the Christian weddings. I can't say, I'm not of a Hindu background. I know Hindu weddings are traditionally longer. It probably goes like for 3 hours compared to a few minutes in a Christian wedding. And even for Muslim wedding, it's not that long. A Muslim wedding is much shorter. Just to separate the males from the females.
Okay.
And Hindu weddings, you've got, I really cannot explain the whole process. But I've a few, whatever the pundit does, and they've got to make the 7 cycles around the fig tree to bring their blessings and things like that.
7 cycles around the fig tree?
Yeah, there's something like that. Can't say. God forgive me. I'm really, I'm not that savvy when it comes to. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's cool. So congratulations to Michelle Montana for getting hitched, man. I hope he makes the right decision.
That was some time ago. We were surprised that he did get married.
Oh, okay. That was a while back. Okay, I thought it was just recently. Okay.
It happened in 2020. I think on Valentine's Day, he celebrated 2 years or 3 years anniversary.
Gotcha. Okay. Fair enough. I spoke to him a few times as well too. He seems to be a nice guy too, man. He's not stuck up, he's not helping himself.
Definitely be more welcoming to foreigners, and that you are.
Yeah. Oh wow. Is that a bit of cat coming out from Michelle Montana from you, Kim?
No, it's the fact. I mean, honestly, you in the Bahamas, say you want to speak to someone from by you guys. Who would you choose? You think they're going to respond to you? Some of them may respond better to an outsider.
That's true. I get it here too, man. I get it here too, especially when I'm talking like to high society people, big shots, Mr. and Mrs. Such and such. They don't want to hear my voice. They prefer to hear my supervisor's voice, because he's an Englishman, right? They prefer to hear that. And that's really the bias, They think we aren't worth anything, Kim. They think because I sound with my Bahamian accent, I sound like a black man. They think I'm not worth listening to. I'm not like, how dare you ask me a question? And it's just so incredibly disgusting, man. Like, for example, I went to a bank. This is about 5, 6 years ago. I went to a bank and there was a white lady, a white Bahamian lady before me. And the teller, the male teller, he was just fawning over, you know, oh yes, miss, this fake smile, this fake smile, right? And the minute I got up the minute I got up to him, right, he was like, oh, what are you doing here? You know, like, I'm a customer just like this woman here. I may have more money in my bank than her, my bank account than her. So why would you give me the sour face and you just there fawning over her? And it's only because of skin color, man. That shows you how we conditioned, Kim. We're conditioned to this garbage, man.
Same thing in Trinidad.
Hmm.
I experience it all the time.
Hmm.
And yes, our banking system, there was this tradition that you only saw light colored skin people working in banks. And that existed for a lengthy period. People like me they would not give jobs to me because I am considered light colored. They want someone more on the white feature side. They want someone looking white.
Yeah.
So that was one issue. Today you see a little bit more of the blacks, the Indians working in the banks.
Yeah.
And just like flight attendants as well. At one point in time, you did not see a colored person really working flight attendants, even for our state agents, or state-owned airline, BWIA, which is now Caribbean Airlines. So, all of those things affected us. You really didn't know if to apply. It probably changed in the last 25 years, probably 30 years. I'll give them 30 years.
Be nice to them, eh? Yeah. It's that skin bias, that color, and we do it to ourselves, Kim. We do it to ourselves. I mean, the teller, he was a black man just like me. Black man just like me. And the lady who was there, the white lady that was there that he served before me, she started looking at him with a sour face, like, oh my goodness, you're really disgusting. And he was just tripping all over her, right? And you could tell when she frowned at him, he turned his face into a scowl. Like you could tell he was ashamed of himself for being so racist and so biased. You know, it's disgusting, man. You know, I hope he learned a lesson that day. That the people you are fawning over, they think that you're disgusting for being kind of biased and kind of racist. I hope he learned a lesson that day. Treat everybody equal.
I mean, they know what they're doing, but they're still going to. I think it's ingrained in the culture to kiss up, you know.
Yeah,
that's what
the kiss up, to suck up to the white man. Yeah, I know. It's sad though. It's sad what slavery and colonialism has done to our mindset. You know? We really think that the white man is superior. Some of us still think that. You know, some of the older ones still think that too. And it's a shame when you see Caucasian and white and Europeans and Americans. They come to the Bahamas and they play on that. You know, but you think everyone's afraid of the white man? Nobody's afraid of a white man. I want your money, but I ain't afraid of you. You got money to spend. And most of the time, some of them don't come with any money, Kim. They come in there with a song and a dance. With a song and an empty briefcase full of papers and bananas.
Yeah, I say what is called white trash.
Wow. I wouldn't go that, Kim. No, that's kind of harsh, Kim. No, I would say that.
But oh yeah, I know, but I remember at one point in time, so a couple coming to the Turks and Caicos, and they made a big think about the hotel and service and the staff was saying, but they're lying. They're telling fibs, and you had actual cameras saying it was like this did not really happen. And like they were trying their best. This happened back in 2017. I can't remember the couple's name. I'm not going to call the couple's name. But they did a good bit of damage to the hotel. And they were blaming it on the staff, the poor innocent staff.
Wow.
And they come here and what are they? So they did even it caught attention of foreign media, their hometown media. They did, and their hometown media came to the Turks and Caicos, did the investigation, even did investigation of their background in their own hometown, and showed that they wouldn't be anyone of substance be carrying on this way.
Yeah.
But foreigners tend to do that, and even it doesn't mean whites or anyone. I've seen foreigners of different races come in and enter and do that because they think that they're superior to the country that they're entering in. Yeah. They come with arrogance and they come with confidence and cockiness in them, right? Yeah.
I know, but but in saying that though, and flipping the switch just a bit, I've seen a number of them come here and got taken to the cleaners. They come here thinking that every black man over here is like some kind of dodo head until they get ripped off. And then our reputation as a country is tarnished because we've been ripping off investors right, left, and center. I mean, it's become like a running joke. This is a scam country here in the Bahamas, man. This is a scam country. Man, you saw what we did to Bahama with Sakis Brilliant, with the Bahama with the Chinese control. Man, he lost his shirt on the Bahama investment, man. He got taken to the cleaners. I mean, he got done in. Wow. If that doesn't show you that you shouldn't really be taking Bahamians for like, I don't know what would. He lost everything, man. Property, hotel, resorts, his name, everything. He lost it all, man. So it's just indicative of that. And actually, in our business section today, the Tribune newspaper business section today, there's a lawyer that's on the verge of being disbarred for ripping off a foreign investor, but $116,000. That money that he gave to her, the investor gave to the lawyer, that she was supposed to pay the taxes with. But she hasn't, so the allegations is she hasn't paid for it. So she had to sit in front of the Bar Association's tribunal in order for us to try to sort this out. So she's on the verge of being disbarred. She can't produce the money. That's $116,000, man. What's she gonna do with that, man? What did she do with that? And this happens too frequently in the Bahamas. And
quite easy to come in and just have their way.
Say again?
They think it's easy to enter and just come in and have their way and take advantage, or no one's gonna catch them or anything like that.
Yeah. I just hate that. I hate how they treat us poor folks. When they get hooked up the wrong elitists, the wrong, Mrs. such and such in the Bahamas, they're gonna get done in, man. They're gonna get killed out here, man. I'm your best friend, to be honest with you. I'm gonna work for you. I just want a couple dollars. I want to take your money. I'm gonna be your best friend, man. But they don't see it like that,
No.
And I guess that's just people for you,
they come with the mentality, the US dollar is so mighty and so great. You've got to bow. Dollar.
That's why I warned you about our African brothers and sisters on the African continent. They're not all swinging from trees, Kim. I've heard a lot of my brothers and sisters here in the Bahamas say, "Oh no, I'm going to go back to Africa. With my experience, I'm going to go there. And I'm going to be running everything in Africa in a minute." Oh no, you fool! You crazy! You are crazy! You really think that's going to happen? You're an idiot.
I saw that of the Afri-Exim Bank, Professor Orama. He's right now in Antigua, Barbuda. And I think he met with the cabinet of the Antigua Barbuda cabinet with Prime Minister Gaston Brown. So I think they had quite an extensive meeting welcoming him. And I'm not sure what the talks involved, but he's still in the Caribbean from last week after the CARICOM meeting where he observed, deliberations there in the Bahamas.
Yeah. Drumming up business, man. Drumming up business. I don't blame him. Drum up that business, man. That's the only way it's gonna happen. You gotta go there, you gotta fight for it.
Yeah. So I mean we'll see what happens there too. What's happening. So
yeah, we'll take it from there. No problem. So what else is happening out there, Kim?
Well, I know we saw something happening also at Antigua Barbuda. I'm not sure if they convened a parliament today in the House since the elections.
Yeah.
Right. So that happened in Antigua Barbuda today, and it was his maiden speech. Speaking to the president of the Senate and what was. I guess coming off the manifesto of his party, what they're looking to do and continue doing with their education and, seeing education as a pillar for economic growth and things like that. So I will keep an eye on, see what's happening with Gaston Brown in Antigua and what he intends to do.
Yeah. Gaston Brown's the man, isn't he?
Yeah.
People love him, man. He's the second coming of Lester Bird. And he's married to Lester Bird's granddaughter, isn't he? Or his daughter.
I'm not sure of his personal affairs. You may have a better idea.
Yeah, I think no. He married Lester Bird's daughter. I'm gonna search it right now, Kim. He married Lester Bird's daughter, Gaston Brown wife, Maria Brown. She was born Maria Bird Brown. Yeah, and her husband. Yeah, Maria Bird Brown. Yeah, she's Lester Brown. She's Lester Bird's daughter,
Right.
and she's younger, much younger than him. I think she's 31.
Yeah, she is younger than him for sure. That much I know.
Yeah, Gaston taking a woman from me, man. See these old fellas, they don't sit down, man. Yeah, 31 is too young for me. You know, why are you taking these young girls from us, man? And that's what these fellas just don't go sit down, man. They don't go sit down. They don't want to sit down. You know,
31 is too young for you.
I'm just saying, right? This is definitely too young for him. But anyway, they have a loving relationship, so I can't knock them, right? So Gaston Brown, do your thing, so you got young women on your side, you know, got a young team.
I should be rooting for that, you know. You're the first I'm hearing something like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he got a young thing on the side, man. That's good for him, man. You know, I would want to be like that. You know, I want a young woman on my side when I get older. I'm looking to get married, by the way, Kim. I'm really looking to get married. I want to get married someday soon.
I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, I'm just putting out that. When I come to Trinidad, I'm going to pick up all the Douglas girls. I'm going to line them up. I'm going to pick which one I want. I'm going to bring them back to the Bahamas. Yes. So let them know. I'm going to line up all the Douglas girls when I come to Trinidad. I'm going to pick one out.
Let me put something forward here. You have like the Caribbean version of The Bachelor. You know, just like the CMP has those competitions. Maybe you can do something like that.
Yeah, I should let you know. I should go to Trinidad, get a Douglas, get an Indian, go to Guyana, get another Indian, and go to Cuba and go to Venezuela, get a Latina and two Latinas. Yeah, get a Latina. Yeah, go to Costa Rica and Honduras, get another set of Latinas. Yeah, that's what I'll do, man. Then I'll go to Jamaica and get one of those hot African girls, the big hot Amazonian girls. Yeah. I should do that, Kim. Thank you for giving me that idea. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, man. I'm going to have the Caribbean version of The Bachelor. I'm going to go from every island, pick the best of the best. You know, the best Douglas, the best Indian girl, the best, you know, African queen, you know.
I don't think you should go by race. I think you should go by personality and what they bring. You don't discriminate by race. You know, we are mixed.
No, I'm going by looks. Go by looks, because they're all crazy, Kim. At least let me look at crazy. Let me look at it pretty crazy. They're all crazy. They're all crazy. They're all the same. I was telling my mom the other day, I said, Mom, they're all the same woman. They treat you all the same. You know, there's no difference in them at all. They're all the same. But she said, oh, no, that's not, Mom, they're all the same. Every woman I've talked to you about has treated me the same way as the other ones have treated me. There's no difference.
Probably the wrong ones have been crossing your path.
Yeah. Speaking up for your womankind, right, Kim? I know you would take up for them. I know you would.
No. If a female is doing something wrong, I will say it. I am not bad. So if she's done something wrong, I'm going to say it. If I do something wrong, I will admit it.
Yeah. Keep it real, Kim. Okay. I give you that. You keep it real. You know, but yeah.
I will swallow my pride as much as it hurts. Sorry.
I got you.
All the time. Even I know that. I felt that. Sorry does not always mean to correct you wrong. And pay and your lesson. So yeah.
I got you.
Not all women are man eaters and haters and out to get something like that. No, you'll meet the right one in time.
Yeah, sooner or later. I mean, a lot of them, they just I lose interest and they lose interest in me quickly, man. You know, I'm not a real exciting guy. You know, I'm not a real exciting guy. There's nothing brand new about me. You know, there's nothing, just sexy. There's nothing zazzy. You know. Oh, that's your. There's nothing zazzy, man. I go to work. I go to school. I come home. I do my podcast, and that's me. You know, I told my mom the other day. Say, Mom, the way you raised me, is that you raised me to be a gentleman, but this is not the man who women want to sleep with. I told her that. I said, Mom, this is not the man who women want to sleep with. And that's just the truth. You raised me as a gentleman. Women don't want to sleep with a nice man. Women do not want to sleep with a nice man. Tell the truth, Kim. You don't want to sleep with a nice guy. You don't like nice guys.
Yeah, women do look for the gentleman. I think it's the culture of each country. And I've seen that evolve in the last few years. And you have to look at the evolution of culture, what has caused this prompt in how both sexes view each other, and when it comes to pursuing a relationship.
That's true.
And I think it all has to do with social media, and it goes beyond. We used to think, what people see on TV shows affected them. Now we're bombarded with, Instagram and having the latest and the best and the fancy things. And when people go out on a date, what they're focused on is the meal, taking a picture of a meal and shopping and
yeah.
And I think we've lost the values of, what it means to really have a real relationship. Most of this population, they don't value conversation. If we're busy with our heads and fingers down on our phones or devices, how are we going to really notice what's happening around us and share what is happening around us with the other person? I think that's the whole issue when it comes to how successful relationships are built in today's society.
You know something? When I talk to a woman or I go on a date with a lady and she starts fiddling with her phone, I get turned off right away. That ticks me right off, Kim.
I mean, you can check probably the time. You can check if there's an important text message or thing, but you put that away and focus on the other person.
Yeah, you put that in your pocket, man. Put that in your purse. Because I don't have my phone out. And I'm tempted to watch my phone. I put my phone up, I tuck it away because I don't want to look at it. Because I'm out with you. I don't want to see anybody else.
You focus on the environment. You find shared interest, and every single person you call it. I know you said you describe yourself as being, there's not much, but every person has a layer, and it's the right person to unpeel those layers and get to the real person, to get to the real you. And someone really has to be interested. They see a gentleman, they see a lady, and that person, hey, they have got some values that is worth investing my time and my conversation with. And that's what relationships are all about. I mean, if I see, okay, I have not dated in a long time. I've dated the same person. I got married to him. But I remember, it was just basic conversation. What you like? Music, just simple things like that. You started off simple, music. You talk about current affairs. What's your views on these things? You're not asking that question like a news reporter, even though that's, we have a tendency. But even just talking about your childhood and your family life and how you were brought up and all those things are just talking points. And really listening to each other is what you need to do. We're not listening. That's our problem. We're not listening. We're probably hearing, but we're not listening to what the other person is saying. And
that's sad. Because everyone's so caught up on themselves, Kim. Everyone's turning into mini narcissists. And I think the social media has a lot to do with it as well. Everyone gets the hype of seeing themselves on Facebook, taking a picture or eating food or taking a picture of their food. And everyone just gets so hyped up in it. And get so hyped up on all the likes and all the shares and the tweets and the retweets, That's really a sad case we have here, man.
You've got to share your likes and dislikes, I think I froze my camera.
Yeah, you're back now. Oh, you still there, Kim?
Yeah. I'm here.
Yeah.
I think it's probably too much of the light is whitewashing me with the
You're blinded by the light? Blinded by the light.
Camera. But I think if women see something of worth and value, they've got to want that relationship as much as you. Relationships work. If you want something to last, it takes work. It takes time and patience And what if you really want it to work, it's listening. And
Mhm.
yeah, all of those things are elements in building a successful relationship and a long lasting one. And
Yeah.
it's not saying that things don't go wrong. And it's also saying that when things do go wrong, you are able to work through it, sit down and talk to each other. There will be still moments of shouting and screaming at each other, but it does not mean it's ended all. You've got to see beyond that
Yeah.
and work if it's worth it.
Some people, all they know how to do is argue with each other. They break up to make up, man.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a cultural thing, and I hope someone sees the worth and value in Yuri Camp out there.
Yeah.
He's a
I think I have to get out of the Bahamas. I have to get out of the Bahamas, I think. I have
perhaps
to get out of the Bahamas and my Afro culture. I need to date someone in a different race. I need a Dougal. I need an Indian girl. I seriously, man. Seriously. I'm being very serious, and nothing too Western. I want someone a bit traditional,
traditional.
but
Yeah,
traditional family values.
I think it goes with the age group as well. So
Mm.
I mean, there are some young women that are brought up differently. It's how you're brought up.
Yeah.
I know
That's true.
women my age that don't know how to cook. They aren't going to cook. And I mean, I know it's probably a sexist or gender stereotype rule of cooking.
Mhm.
But let me just say something. Making a meal for your husband is not going to denigrate you. It is not going to put you down into some biblical scripture verse that you say is out. Woman, subject
Just being
yourself to your
decent.
husband. It's just being kind. What's
Yeah.
is going to appreciate it? A meal, a basic meal. You
Yeah.
know, nothing wrong in that. And he's going to retain it. I mean,
Of course.
men sandwiches and things like that. I appreciate that.
I don't know what the media is teaching these young women nowadays. There's nothing wrong with cooking a meal for your man. There's nothing wrong with nothing wrong with being affectionate. There's nothing wrong with being a peaceful mate,
Yeah.
being loving and kind and supportive. There's nothing wrong with that,
And then there's the whole thing addressing modest,
Mhm.
Why is it all women feel the need that you've got to expose this and expose like that? You can be sexy with being covered and modest, I think.
Mhm.
I know some men, I know that there's the notion of and the culture among men. You're a man, you would attest to this. Dressing decent doesn't mean, you're not being sexy. You can be sexy and be fully covered. I think
Just
so.
be
It's
fun.
just classy, you know.
Indeed.
What's wrong with being a classy lady? It always attracts, always wins to me. I mean, I probably think my mother brought me up.
That's why, I don't want to go here, right? But that's why I think why the Bible and the Quran and the Talmud, they almost to the point where they used to denigrate women. They used to depress them because they saw this happening, 100 years down the road, 200 years, 1,000 years down the road. They saw this happening where we need to control these women or else they'll get out of hand. I mean, that's just my sexist view of it, right?
In the Bible, you've got Queen Esther, and you've got of Naomi and Ruth making their way out. Yes, Naomi would have helped, her daughter-in-law, help get Boaz and things like that. We're going to the Bible now. But you've got Queen Esther. She was assertive. She led her land, she helped them. There are women in the Bible. There's
character.
Yes, of character, but
I'm a good
also
character.
of substance and of ruling. They did not sacrifice the position that they were called for, to state. Not all women were just, subjected. They led their nation. They did things.
Yeah.
And I think that's the notion we get wrong, that the Bible does not allow women to be up in the forefront.
I think they were speaking for the group en masse, right? It wasn't just one particular offhand case. It was just, you guys or you gals in one group, But that's my sexist view on that. That's why I saw the Bible and the Quran. Actually, I read it, and I see the women today. I think this is what they were teaching us against. We have to really hold our women accountable. We need to bring them in line. And I'm not bring them in line in a negative way, but we have to be more. We have to take more care in how we let them present themselves, how we let them carry themselves. I think we've lost the narrative on it. Men have lost the narrative, especially black men. Black men have lost the narrative on their women. They're gone, Kim. They're gone. We can't get them back.
I'm seeing that on all races. In Trinidad, we have that case as well, even with the so-called Indians. It's all people, all kinds of people.
All kinds. Okay.
I think so. It's not just limited to one race. You may think that it's more predominant, but I think it's a matter how we've brought up our children in society that they are in right now. Because it's a dog-eat-dog world out there right now.
Yeah. If I have to raise a daughter, shut up. If I have to raise a daughter, I would always want to raise a boy. I wouldn't want to have to raise a daughter because it'll be like madness. Having to tell her to go and take care of herself. Oh my goodness, I wouldn't look forward to that at all. You know. Yeah, I'll love her, right? But I'm going to be like dreading every day I have to take care of her. You know, I have to show her, I have to teach her what's right and what's wrong.
My mother always told my father that he has 2 daughters. I don't have any. He has 2. And my mother said, girl children will love you and take care of you in your old age. Boy children, sons, they leave. And just like the Bible says, they cleave to your wife. They leave. And how often are they coming back home to help out?
Yeah. Well, I guess because men are rambling men, right? Men are rolling stones. So, yeah, I understand what you mean. The girls will take care of you.
Count it a blessing.
But Miss Kim, our time is up actually. That's an hour going by. Any final thoughts you have to say, Kim? We had fun tonight though for the throwaway show.
We relaxed. It's Carnival Monday here, so I'm laid back and relaxed, despite my camera battery dying.
So take some pictures for us in Carnival, man, and then share them with us, please. I look forward to it, man.
Caribbean Magazine Plus will have something on it for sure.
That's right. Caribbean Magazine Plus. Good night, everybody. Thank you once again for coming in and tuning in to the LimeVibe podcast. I'm your host, Yori Kemp, with my co-host, Ms. Kimberly Ramcallo, and thank you and good night.